Wrestling fans never tire of hearing about the inner workings of the sport of kings, and WrestleLamia is always looking to bring you more. Join us now as WrestleLamia looks at even more wrestling secrets. Number 1. How the WWE hides small crowds. Vince McMahon has always been a big adherent to the saying, image is reality, so it's no surprise he likes to maintain the appearance that the WWE is always thriving, with its live events filled to capacity. As we've recently seen with pay-per-views like Stomping Grounds, that doesn't always happen as the shows reach a near record low for ticket sales and the WWE scramble to fill the venue by whatever means necessary. Besides creating a compelling product, this included giving away tickets. When that fails to bring in the fans, the WWE does everything it can to hide the small crowd, ranging from moving fans around to tarping off large sections of the arena. This happened at Stomping Grounds, with the WWE inviting fans sitting in the upper decks to move down to the lower section and even the floors to make the arena look packed. Empty sections were tarped in black to hide the empty seats, while the camera operators focused on the sections filled with fans. Number 2. The WWE occasionally heats its rings. With the WWE holding WrestleMania in stadiums, open-air venues pose a problem, particularly in areas where the temperature might get downright chilly. WrestleMania 35 was held at the MetLife Stadium, and while the weather proved accommodating, the WWE had to take precautions. Not only are WWE superstars used to working in heated buildings, but they're used to a ring that works the same every time they step into it. Unfortunately, the materials that make up the ring, such as wood and steel, are affected by temperature, so a ring left out in the cold won't be the same structure as a ring at a normal temperature. WWE ringmaker Steve Carpenter recently discussed the steps he and his crew took to keeping both the WWE superstars and their ring warm. This year, the specially made ring will be powered by 6 electrical furnaces that will be placed beneath the ring. It'll be insulated like a regular house in hopes of keeping the temperature in and around the ring to 70 degrees. Different ring posts will also be used that will have holes in them where hot air will be distributed from, keeping the superstars and referee in cozy temperature. Number 3. There's no more Wrestlers Court in the WWE. Once upon a time, the WWE locker room policed themselves, holding what was known as Wrestlers Court, a forum where a wrestler faced disciplinary action from their peers for violating the standards expected between superstars. Early in his career, The Miz ran afoul of Chris Benoit when Miz spilled chicken crumbs on Benoit's gym bag. This resulted in Miz appearing in Wrestlers Court and being exiled from the dressing room. The Miz talked about the incident during an episode of Talk is Jericho. He mentioned, "Yeah, I did get kicked out of the locker room. It was a stupid thing by me. So I'm in the locker room, there's nowhere to really go, there's nowhere to put your stuff down. You would think as a WWE superstar and in the biggest traveling company that we would have amazing immaculate locker rooms. That couldn't be farther from the truth. All of the locker rooms are like cubby holes, so we all have to squeeze in there, and it was one of those small locker rooms. I sat down and started eating some chicken. As I'm eating the chicken, someone, being Benoit, goes, 'Hey, you're spilling chicken all over my bag.' However, that's no longer the case as the WWE wants to avoid the appearance of bullying in the workplace, and it's created an internal unit to deal with complaints by wrestlers about other wrestlers. Wrestlers Court may be abolished officially, but there have been incidents of wrestlers taking action against an egregious offender, such as when Roman Reigns allegedly kicked Enzo Amore off a tour bus due to Amore's obnoxious behavior. Number 4. Phone calls are banned in the locker room. The WWE locker room is supposed to be a haven for WWE superstars, a place to prepare for matches and unwind after they're finished. It should come as no surprise that phone calls are not allowed there, because it's disruptive to what is a work environment. That doesn't mean everyone follows the rules, something Enzo Amore proved when he started taking calls in the locker room, angering some of his fellow wrestlers and piling more heat on him. Number 5. Working the boys. The WWE likes to work its own wrestlers, with WWE superstars often being kept in the dark about things, such as match finishes and what brand they are going to be working for. In some cases, the WWE will even mislead a wrestler, telling them that they are going to win a match, only to change things at the last minute. For example, this year's Money in the Bank pay-per-view saw Brock Lesnar appearing in the closing moments of the main event, stealing a win from Ali and the all-important Money in the Bank briefcase. According to Fightful.com's Sean Ross Sapp, most people backstage were told that Mustafa Ali was winning, until like right before the match, and I mean him too, like right before the match. The WWE has also done the same thing with wrestlers about to be moved from one brand to another, flying them into their new show under the pretext they need them to tape promotional segments or similar excuses. It's not until later that some superstars discover they are being moved from one brand to another. Number 6. Referees help wrestlers with weapons. As discussed in our other Wrestling Secrets videos, the WWE referees helped out in clandestine ways, whether it's telling wrestlers when to end a match or to check on a wrestler's physical condition if they look hurt. Referees can help in other ways, as seen by the Charlotte vs Becky Lynch match at 2018's Evolution pay-per-view. As Fox Sports noted, during the nearly flawless last women's standing match between Charlotte Flair and Becky Lynch at Evolution, the neutral referee can be seen assisting the supposed heel Becky. The referee kicked the steel chair softly to nudge it closer to Becky's hand. It's definitely a blink and you'll miss it moment that shows how crucial referees are to the overall performance. That quote being true, we're pretty sure that Becky was the face and not the heel. Number 7. Gimmick chairs. Speaking of steel chairs, Cody Rhodes took a wicked chair shot to the head at AEW's recent Fyter Fest event, renewing the call to ban unprotected chair shots to the head in light of what is now known as the long-term effects of concussions. While chair shots can be painful, what steps, if any, can be taken to protect wrestlers? The most obvious ways to protect wrestlers is by hitting them where the chair shot will do the least amount of damage, such as the shoulder area or back. Wrestlers can also put their hands up when taking a chair shot to the head. While the wrestling world still likes to maintain its secrets, it is known that chairs are sometimes gimmicks so that they bend when they hit an opponent. Chairs can also be made of light metal rather than actual steel, creating the sensational sound effect and less of an impact. A chair can also be gimmicked, as Lance Storm recently tweeted following the botched chair shot on Cody. In ECW, when Tanaka's neck got bad from Bull's chair shots, they cut the pins that attached the top part of the seat to the frame so that when he got hit the seat would swing up easy. Problem is, when it swings up easy, your head goes in farther, and if you aren't careful, the lip of the seat back becomes even more dangerous. Cutting someone with the lip of the seat back is a rookie chair shot mistake I made with Bam Bam in ECW. Number 8. Fake glass. Going through a glass window can tear someone to ribbons, even killing them. However, there's a way to create gimmick glass to protect wrestlers and anyone who needs to create the illusion of going through real glass. A 2017 Scientific American article explained how this is done. You're watching an action movie and suddenly the hero dives through a glass window, or a car window shatters as the hero navigates an exciting car chase. The glass looks so real, but believe it or not, movie sets rarely use real glass for those scenes. Can you guess what they use instead? If you guess candy, you're right. Instead of using real glass, which is expensive, difficult to replace for multiple shots and danger, movie sets use sugar glass. This cheap, easy to make substitute looks like real glass and tastes like candy. The Shane McMahon vs Kurt Angle match at 2001's King of the Ring pay-per-view shows what happens when a wrestler goes through actual glass. In 2017, Angle recalled the brutal match and what went wrong when he tried to suplex Shane through a glass panel. When we were wrestling and I went to throw Shane in and he didn't go through it, I thought, man, that is some hard sugar glass. Unfortunately, they called the magic, the stunt guy, I guess that's the term they use for the stuff he puts together for matches, and he gets the equipment. He ultimately ordered the wrong glass, or they sent the wrong glass. They said it was sugar glass, but it was actual plexiglass. If I'd have known that, we would have never gone through it. Shane had multiple, 50-60 stitches. He got cut up pretty well. We both ended up in hospital that night. It was the most brutal match I had ever been in. Unfortunately for Shane, I didn't know what to do. The second time I threw him through the glass, he wouldn't go through and I literally threw him face first. Had I known that was plexiglass, I never would have done that to him. Even myself, when I threw him through and my arm followed through, the glass went into my arm and I was cut up pretty badly. Wrestlers reportedly sometimes take an alternative route, placing a glass beer bottle in an oven and heating it up, with the end result being it shatters easily. There's no guarantee this will work, as fans who have seen hardcore matches have seen wrestlers make several efforts to break a bottle over an opponent's head. One famous interview from Rowdy Roddy Piper's run in the Pacific Northwest has the Hot Scot breaking a beer glass over his own head, with Piper beginning to bleed as the beer runs down his head. Number 9. Barbed wire. Barbed wire is a weapon that can tear a wrestler to shreds. However, like all weapons, wrestlers can protect themselves and their opponents to a certain extent if they are careful with it. The The problem is that accidents happen, which is why some promotions such as WCW supposedly use gimmicked barbed wire, either made of rubber or rubber tipped. However, not everyone uses gimmicked barbed wire, resulting in bloody bouts. And then there's hardcore. While promotions such as the WWE avoid the use of blood, barbed wire and unprotected chair shots to the head, hardcore wrestlers often eschew the use of gimmicked glass or barbed wire, simply relying on their ability to bump that is less injurious. Photographer Mark McAndrews spent 2 years covering the hardcore scene for a documentary he is making. McAndrews travelled to various shows held by promotions such as CZW and Independent Wrestling Association for 2 years, witnessing the carnage that takes place. McAndrews discussed some of his observations during an interview with CNN.com. Everybody knows what they're doing and how to get into it, and it looks worse than it actually is. They know how to fall and get cut in a way that produces the most visual effect. Nonetheless, wrestlers injure themselves sometimes seriously. I saw somebody slice his hand like all the way open. Should have gone to hospital. Instead, someone tore the bottom part of his shirt off and wrapped it up tighter, and they wrestled 2 more shows that day. But there you have it, guys. Some more wrestling secrets about what goes on in the ring and behind the scenes. What secrets have you heard about that we haven't talked about in other videos? Be sure to leave your comments down below, subscribe if you haven't already, follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.